Hi, so I just found out about No Nuance November, so I'm just gonna get my first 11 out right now. The United States never was and shouldn't be a Christian nation. Libertarians' idea that unfettered capitalism will solve everything is stupid. Surprisingly enough, Abraham Lincoln was not an idol to black people. We should have gotten rid of the 40-hour work week, 8-hour work day forever ago. It takes a distinct amount of privilege to be able to live and eat vegan. The amount of emphasis we put on money, a thing we made up, doesn't make sense. The Bible must be updated for modern Christianity because it doesn't make sense for the times. Male birth control should have seen clinical trials ages ago, but the medical system rather see women suffer than men. Marriage is not a sacred pillar. It's a legal contract. No matter how evil someone is, them being fat is not the reason they're evil, therefore making fun of Donald Trump's weight is fatphobic. And if you actively believe the scam that is non-GMO, I just assume that you don't believe in science.
Welcome to No Nuance November, where I give a hot take, offer no context, and do not discuss it with anyone in the comments. I missed the first 9 days, so here's 9 rapid-fire hot takes. Crunchy peanut butter is disgusting and useless. Tankies are the worst kind of leftist. TikTok blackouts are performative and ineffective. Pork sausage is superior to bacon. You shouldn't dox people, especially minors. Some people use social justice as an excuse to be a bully. Lil Wayne is vastly overrated. The US should have more comprehensive language education from an early age so that most kids grow up knowing how to speak Spanish. Dislike of cats is largely rooted in sexism.
No Nuance November, but words people throw around too much. Gaslighting is a specific form of manipulation where people alter your perception of reality, not when a boy tells you he's sad. Incel doesn't mean an asshole. It means an involuntary celibate who doesn't believe in women's rights and thinks that rape is a human right. The term pedophilia refers to someone who's prepubescent. That means like a 10-year-old, not a 15-year-old dating an 18-year-old. A 15-year-old dating an 18-year-old isn't child grooming. It's just manipulation. 17 and 19 or 20 isn't that big of a difference. There's a reason that the Romeo and Juliet clause forgives this in most states. Once TikTok learned the words gaslight, incel, manipulate, and child grooming, they haven't shut up. Using words to describe abusive behavior when you're not actually talking about abusive behavior is damaging to victims and is kind of downplaying their abuse. Stop using words without knowing what they mean.
No Nuance November Music Edition. These are just my opinions, but I think I'm right. Lil Pump is probably one of the worst rappers of this generation. On the flip side, Kendrick Lamar is probably the best. Kendrick Lamar has the best flow and lyrics out of all the rap artists in the game. Nicki Minaj is also one of the best in the game. A lot of Megan Thee Stallion songs that haven't seen the light are actually really good and probably better than like Savage. Justin Bieber's best album is also incredibly underrated, and it's Journals, released in 2013. Machine Gun Kelly is ass, and he's not even that cute. Biba Doobie is incredibly underrated. Same with Cigarettes After Sex. Sophia is not Claro's best song. Kanye and Travis are not the best rappers or the best lyricists in the game. And yes, I've heard people say this on TikTok. Lil Uzi's new album is not that great. SZA's vibe is unmatched. Beyonce is way too overhyped. But Rihanna is a fucking queen. Like for part 2.
Everything I'm about to say is 100% true. My husband's uncle recently passed away, but everything surrounding his death is extremely suspicious. His wife called us on the 17th and let us know that he passed away on the 11th and that she already had his funeral. And that really weirded us out because why would she wait that long to call us? So we decided to do a little digging. We called the funeral home director, but he couldn't tell us anything without verifying our identification first. But he told us this was a really weird case and that we should call the Justice of the Peace. So we called the Justice of the Peace, and he told us that my husband's uncle's wife told the cops that he didn't have any family. And we also just found out that she didn't even attend the funeral. So we're gonna go investigate next week. I'll keep y'all updated.
So apparently it's Nuance November. Let's do this. If a couple breaks up and a girl gets a new boyfriend, everyone calls her a slut, a whore, and she moved on too fast. If the guy gets a new girlfriend, he's the man. Capricorns are stubborn and love money. There is a large margin of pornography that is actually rape and involves a minor. Kids who are making money off of YouTube should be protected because their parents are probably taking it all. I love red vines, but honestly, they kind of taste like wax. If you call yourself an influencer but don't use your platform to try to make a change in the world, you should probably stop calling yourself that.
It's No Nuance November. Freaky edition. Meaning you say your opinions and run, with no explanation. Let's go. Missionary is way better than doggy. IUD over the pill any day.
Just stop being a pussy and get it done.
Big dick does not necessarily equal good dick. And sometimes big dicks hurt a lot. I take a 6-inch dick over an 8-inch dick any day. If you're a male and you just came and your girl hasn't came yet, you're not done yet. Keep going. Drunk sex is so much more fun. If you don't eat her out or finger her before fucking, but you expect her to give you a head and you just stick it in without doing anything for her, that's fucked up. Reverse cowgirl is the worst position. Like, your dick doesn't even bend that way. With that being said, regular cowgirl is so fun in the car and on a couch, because you can actually grab onto something. If you're a guy and you finish kind of quick, it's okay as long as you can get it back up in a few minutes or so, then you're fine. Ear biting is essential over neck kissing and anything else. Spitters are quitters. Suck it up and swallow that shit.
No Nuance November, so here are my fucking opinions. Having ugly feet is only fucking okay if you're a dancer. If you tell me you have ugly feet because you're a dancer, I respect it. If you just have ugly feet, get that shit together. And why a lot of black people are ignoring Black History Month, because it's like, it's just a month, it should be all year round, but because of our political climate and COVID, I think we should just start celebrating the fucking month to its fullest before everyone starts to try to ignore us again. If I was white, I would have had over 100,000 followers on TikTok by now. Not that it matters, but if I was, I would, because I'm already hot. A lot of the girls I know have pretty privilege. Just do not ask the boys in their town. That's also me. Do not ask the boys in my town if I'm hot, because I am, so don't ask them. Don't go to therapy until they make therapy specifically for children who have parents that come from foreign countries that expect a lot from them because they didn't have that as a kid, so they put their projections onto them. Sienna Gomez never fucking said she was fat. You're the same person that gave her all the hype and now you're getting mad that she has it. Who cares if Addison and Charlie are getting money for dancing? That's how they chose to live their lives, so find a way to live yours. Because I want to.
Since November is almost over, I thought I would post my No Nuance November Teen Mom / Young Wife edition. Yes, I plan my son at 16. Not all teen moms drop out. Being proud that your baby daddy didn't leave is not shaming single mothers. Just because I got married young doesn't mean we're gonna get divorced. Just because I had a kid young doesn't mean the dad will leave. Just because I'm on social media doesn't mean y'all know everything about my life. You think you do through a 60-second or 15-second video. That was also towards the whole young motherhood thing. Yes, I was actually in college at 17. I was completing my finals while in labor. Just to spice it up, I guess I'm gonna do stay-at-home mom too. Just because I'm a stay-at-home mom doesn't mean I have no work ethic or ambitions in life. And why is it an issue that I rely on my husband if he's reliable? Don't know if I did this right, but yeah.
No Nuance November, Black Parents Edition. Let's get started. Aggression is a learned behavior. So if y'all are out here arguing, cussing, and spitting at each other just about every day, why the fuck are y'all acting like y'all don't know where y'all children's aggression issues come from? Y'all gonna wear out that one Bible verse talking about thou shalt honor thy mother and thy father, but y'all don't want to say nothing about that part that says that you should not be provoking your child to anger, which is literally all some of you do. You be cussing out your child, calling them out their name, fighting them like they a stranger on the street, but then wondering why they don't respect you. Sit the fuck down. Stop telling your child's business to the fucking family. Oh my fucking God, y'all are doing nothing but crumbling the trust that your child has in you. Then you wonder why they don't tell you shit now. How you treat your kids when they're young will determine how they treat you when you're old. The most neglectful parents love talking about who gonna take care of me when I'm old. Jesus, bitch. The fuck? And finally, picking your partner over your child is literally the most disgusting thing that you can do as a person. Not as a parent, as a person.
No Nuance November, but it's December now, so no discussion December.
Family vlogs are gross and unethical, no exceptions. We need to stop putting politicians on a pedestal. They're all bad people, some of them are just better at hiding it. 13 Reasons Why is Netflix's worst show, if not the worst show of all time, but on the same note, BoJack Horseman, Orange is the New Black, and Black Mirror are Netflix's best shows. Cartoons are the elite genre of television. And How I Met Your Mother is funnier than Friends. Vegans get way too much hate, and let's be honest, they're right. Our society is way too polarized, normalized not absolutely hating or loving something. Dealing with OCD and intrusive thoughts are worse than people think. Feeling depressed or anxious and having depression or anxiety are two completely different things. I've never heard a point made by a pro-lifer that would ever change my mind, but I'm totally open to having a mature discussion about it. Geometry should not be mandatory in high school. Backhanded compliments are worse than insults. Social media activists will talk about everything but anti-Semitism.
This is Put a Finger Down, but I don't tell you what it is until the end, Astrology Edition. Put a finger down if you learn best by doing. Put another finger down if you are very independent and you like it that way. Put a finger down if you enjoy having a healthy social life. Put a finger down if, although you really love spending time with the people in your life, you do need time alone in a safe space to recharge. Put a finger down if you hate messing up or doing things wrong. Put a finger down if you are a bit dramatic, but you're pretty funny. Put one down if you love giving and receiving compliments. Put a finger down if you take a lot of pride in how you look and present yourself to the world. And finally, put a finger down if you really truly believe in just living in the moment and living life to the absolute fullest. If you put 7 or more fingers down, then chances are you are a Leo or have significant Leo influence in your chart.
No Nuance November with a Dermatologist, Part 3. There is no data to support double cleansing as a standard skincare practice. The only difference between moisturizer with SPF and facial sunscreen is the name. Most skincare devices are totally unnecessary, and some can even harm your skin. I'm looking at you, cleansing brushes. Most eye creams are just regular moisturizer with a bigger markup. Nobody's skin was ever magically fixed by putting lemon, apple cider vinegar, or yogurt on it, so please stop doing that. If someone says that X ingredient is good for Y condition, they should be explaining how. Like, I want to hear about mechanism. Yes, your diet can impact your acne, but it's very unlikely that your diet is giving you acne.
Welcome to No Nuance November. I don't know who invented this trend, but I love sharing my unsolicited opinions with no context. First off, Thanksgiving is the best holiday because of the food, obviously. However, turkey is the worst meat. Plain milk is disgusting, but dairy products like cheese and ice cream are chef's kiss. Cereal is a chilled breakfast soup. Also, it's not good. I think people are going to be mad at me for that one. You cannot convince me that blue cheese is edible. Absolutely not. No one on earth scares me more than the people who put ketchup directly on top of fries like this. Sis, what's going on at home? Finally, romaine is canceled. If I wanted a tasteless lettuce, I'd have iceberg. It's crunchier.
I heard it's No Nuance November, so here are my unsolicited astrology opinions. Let's go. First of all, Virgo's resting emotion is horny. You can't argue with me. I have never met a Cancer who isn't a bad bitch. I also have never met a water sign who can't absolutely throw ass. If you hate on Geminis, it's simply because they're funnier than you. Libras are fake. Like, as fuck. We're also incredibly insecure. Capricorns don't even have that good of a work ethic. They're just terrified of failure. Y'all only hate on Scorpios because you can't handle the truth. I said what I said. If you have a fire Mars, but especially an Aries Mars, you scare the shit out of me. Don't ever date an Aquarius man unless he's Harry Styles. Do better. Also, if you have an air moon, I'm sorry. Me too, though. Anyone with a Leo rising is automatically hot as fuck also scares the shit out of me. If you're a Pisces, this is your sign to stop drinking. Okay, that's all I have time for. Bye.
It's No Nuance November. That means post your hot takes with no context and run. I could easily shave 30 minutes off of almost any movie. Roman Catholics are just goth Christians, but the iconography is so beautiful it's literally worth the religious trauma. Mint is gross, and our society is structured around pretending it isn't. Family vlogging should violate some kind of child labor laws, and I think one day it will. If the movie is good but boring or in some other way unenjoyable to watch, that means it's not good. Most people lose their virginity way too young. Gen Z, I love your moxie, I really do. You should not want, like, revolution to happen, though. Like, it's not. Where do you think refugees come from? Like, you're not gonna like it, you know? It's not. Becoming a social media celebrity before 21 will give you brain damage. Tana Mojo, brain damage. Bryce Hall, brain damage. Brain damage, brain damage, brain damage. I promise you. I promise you.
No Nuance November. I'm just gonna rattle off a bunch off the top of my head. Number 1, if you are a TikTok dance account, I think that you should study the black culture and history behind hip-hop. Number 2, y'all need to stop praising guys who wear like maid dresses and nail polish and eyeliner, because at this point they just do it because they want the validation of a bunch of pretty alt girls and actually just boosts their ego even more. Number 3, you need to stop telling people that they look good by telling them that they look skinny, because that just encourages fat phobia. Number 4, if you're a guy who claims that he loves girls of all races and sizes, but you only follow a bunch of skinny white girls or POC women with extremely Eurocentric features, you're just being performative. Number 5, we should encourage boys to read Wattpad and fanfiction. Number 6, I don't think minors should have been posting videos of them crawling around on their bed wearing a Playboy costume on Halloween. And lastly, Charlie is a performative activist who only spoke about BLM on her TikTok and changed her profile to either get out of trouble or because her manager told her to.
It is apparently Nuance November, so I'm going to share some of my opinions, and whether they're popular or not, here they are. Being fashionable nowadays isn't about actually being fashionable, it's about being skinny, and that's obviously, like, wrong. It really is true that I've never seen a pretty Trump supporter. I mean, you could be the prettiest person on this planet, but the second I find out about your values, you become super, super ugly in comparison. People that hate on people for liking The Office are more annoying than people that just actually like The Office. Like, why do you care so much? It's just a TV show. Let them enjoy it. People that smoke puff bars or nicotine automatically become like 10 times less attractive to me, like genuinely. It's so gross. If you need a trigger warning for people eating in a TikTok, you should not be on the internet. Dyeing your hair a bright color does not make you quirky anymore. You're just as basic as the rest of us now.
I'm coming for your head! No Nuance November, anime plus anime community edition. Bro, get your tissue box ready, cause ain't nobody safe. Let's get it. The biggest problem in the anime community is racism. If I have to hear one more incel say, she's not black, why are you cosplaying as her? The character's probably not white either. They're Japanese, so shut up. The second biggest problem is sexism. Listen guys, women have been closet anime fans just like you, so stop invalidating their experiences and their opinions simply because they are women. Knock it off. Usually anime fans' biggest problem is they all suffer from recency bias. Cause y'all to overhype every anime you watch. Never-ending cycle of, oh, new anime? This is the best ever. With no regard for all the anime that came before. Asian anime biggest problem is they love to gatekeep anime. Just because you had a struggle as a closet anime fan growing up does not mean everybody else should struggle too. Anime is not exclusive to yours, and for God's sakes, didn't we want people to watch anime to begin with? Why are we gatekeeping? This is what we want. More anime fans, we get to talk about it more openly. I'm not even gonna say like for a part 2, because guess what? It's coming anyway. Let's get it!
No Nuance November, Astrology Edition. Cancers aren't the most manipulative sign of the zodiac. That's Capricorns. If a Gemini is gossiping about you, they probably don't actually like you. Geminis don't gossip about people they care about. Aries aren't the angriest sign of the zodiac. That's Cancers. Pisces aren't even psychic. They just pay attention when the rest of you guys fucking don't. Sagittariuses can be total loners, whether it's because they don't want to socialize in the first place or because they drop all their friends at the drop of a hat. If you like Libras, it's probably because they tell you everything you want to hear. Tauruses aren't lazy, they love money, so you're probably just asking them to do something that's inconvenient for them. Scorpios aren't even jealous, you're probably just backing off from them too much because you're scared of how intense they are. Virgos aren't necessarily organized, they just live in a space that makes sense for their mind, which could be a total fucking mess if that's how their mind feels. Scorpios are also one of the most overrated signs of the zodiac. I said it. Leos like attention, but more importantly, they want validation. They want someone to affirm to them that what they're doing is good and impressive because they don't believe in themselves.
Here's my take on No Nuance November, but each video the opinions get more controversial. Level 1. The show Friends and the way it's treated in American culture is literally the perfect analogy of white liberalism. Also, it's not funny. Harry Styles didn't invent gender fluidity in the music industry. Stop acting like you did. And finally, the argument over the legalization of abortion has literally never been about preserving the lives of children. Thank you.
It's No Nuance November, and I'm a very opinionated person, so here are some of my hot takes. Some are mild, but let's get into it. Gen Z is so egotistical, and it's only made worse by social media. We will never actually become the change that we pride ourselves on being on if we continue this way. Too much attention goes to the old people that have problematic views. We don't focus enough on the people around our age who are shitty people, because trust me, there's a lot of them. A lot of trans culture is taken directly from black women, and it's not talked about enough. TERFs say that trans women are a threat to feminine spaces when it's actually the men in maid costumes and femboys and etc. Also, femboys are inherently transphobic. There's not a lot, but there still are some people, specifically white AMAB people, who will adopt queer identities to avoid being called out for their shitty actions. Everyone in the LGBT community can say the F slur. Stan culture ruined the internet. White people need to stop having opinions on race issues unless they're just amplifying the voice of someone of that race that they're speaking about.
Geminis are assholes. Avoid Taurus men at all costs. Aries are scaries. Virgos are annoying. Leos are also annoying, but in a totally different way. Libras will do anything to make sure someone doesn't hate them. Cancer women are what everyone thinks Scorpio women are. Scorpios are amazing, you just have to work out your own personal issues before you can learn that. Sages are the most fun to party with. Aquarius are also assholes. Pisces are fucking weird. Capricorns are the life ruiners of the zodiac. They ruin lives.